Hello! We're going to go over sample preparation for the CHN today. So most of the time people will come with homogeneous, nicely milled samples, and what they need to do is prepare them in tiny capsules, which is what I will be showing you today. And so I'll show you the process for that, because there's a very specific way that these need to be. So first and foremost, this is our nice clean area. Well, it's not super clean right now, but we will clean it. So you want to make sure that everything you're working with is clean and free of dust and particulates or whoever was working here before you. So good practice is to start with water and just squeegee a little bit on. Get a Kim wipe or two. Wipe. We have trash right here. And then you're going to follow that up with acetone, and that helps dry out the water that's on here nice and quickly. And then I usually like to do another squirt of acetone and just wipe out these little crevices. Make sure there's nothing in there. And then also wipe down your utensils. Okay. So we have a little container of micro spatulas here. This is what you'll use to pull your sample out. These are consumable, so we don't reuse these. You throw them away each time. This is our Microbalance right here. It's covered. We like to keep it covered when it's not in use. So when you're ready, you can go ahead and take the cover off. It's always on, so you shouldn't have to turn it on. And then this is our anti-static device, so this helps keep static down when you're working with powders. It's very helpful. There's a button right on the back that you can click, and I recommend not touching anywhere in here. You will feel the shock if you do. So we'll use acetanilide today, which is our standard for the CHN. So it's usually good to work one at a time. Pull out a capsule. Open. And we'll weigh the empty capsule. And you're going to want to tear that. So now that it's teared, you can take it out. And this little tray here is perfectly sized for these tins so that you can open them up, make it easier to get your sample in there. For organic samples and standards, we want about 2 milligrams of sample. For inorganic, it'll be a little higher. It'll be about 15 milligrams, but this is organic, so we'll go with 2 milligrams for today. Oops, and I'm spilling. 1 second while I clean this back up. Let's try that again. Okay, so we're going for about 2 milligrams of sample. I've done this a fair amount of times so I can eyeball it, but you will be able to check. Pull out carefully your tin to check the weight of it. That's better. closer to the 2 milligrams that we want. So now it's time to roll it up so that it's ready to go on the CHN. So first we want to clip the top just so it's closed. It's good to use 2 forceps at the same time so you can keep them balanced. I like to tip it on its side and flatten it. And then with 1 forcep holding it down and the other forcep, you fold the open top back and over again, so it's 2 folds. And then you want a nice fold in the middle. So it ends up looking like a nice little wrapped tin. And then for your final weight, you put it back on the balance once more. And this is the weight that you would write down on your sample log, so you have the recorded weight that you can input into the CHN. And because I'm not running it immediately, we can take the tin out and put it in our 96 well plate. You'll want to label your plate with your name and project and date. And then whichever position in the plate you put the tin in, you can just write it right here. And that way you have a nice log of all your samples that you've weighed, and you can do that at separate times. And then once you're done weighing all your samples, throw away your spatulas and give everything a nice clean down again. Even if you don't think you spilled, there's probably still particulates. You can turn off your static device. Wipe down the tray and the forceps. And then we cover the balance, and we're all done.